Lunchtime! It's Monday and we're going to do motivational class just in English. It's the time where the teacher practices English on your ear. We're going to always talk about something different, usually secrets of life, secrets of happiness. And if this is difficult for you, try to understand the idea. Try to accostumate your ear. Get one word here, get one word there. Try to understand the connection. Now, if this is very difficult for you, you go to Wednesdays, quartas-feiras, basicão, okay? Because today is for intermediate and advanced level of English to practice the listening comprehension. Good morning. The teacher is working with the listening and different adjectives and vocabulary. Today, we're going to talk about life. And my life is different than your life, which is different than Maria, different than João. But the problem is this: everybody suffers. Everybody suffers if you're rich, if you're poor, if you have money, if you have a job, if you have a crush or a girlfriend, if you don't have a husband or you don't have a crush. We always suffer. Either we have family problems or relationship problems, we're having financial problems, some situation is not all right. And some people, we have already talked about this, have solutions for these problems. And some of the solution is to distract yourself. You can distract with internet, other people watch TV, some people prefer drinking or smoking, dancing, kissing, fucking. But there are distractors. And with these distractors passes the time. And time goes by. But the point is, we are here to evolve. And the evolution is 100 years. We have 100 years, yeah? Some people 80, some people 70, some people 20. And this is the time you have to be a better person, to observe, to see what you want, what you don't want, to have decisions, to just observe and think what's good or not for you. There's no correct or incorrect. You are trying to be happy. And the same is your mother and father. You point too much about your mother and father, but you don't stop to think they did the best they could. Oh, but my mother hit me. She did the best she could. Usually our parents, mother and father that receive something, give to us. If they didn't receive love, they can't pass love to us. And we start to point the negative aspects of our family, of our friends, of our jobs. And when you see time passes, you are distracting yourself and just point to the negative aspects. You don't thank for the water you're drinking because there is a big percent of the population that doesn't have water to drink. You don't think about this. You don't visit Africa to see there are people that don't sleep. They can't because they have insomnia. Other people are in the hospital in this moment, but you don't want to think about this. You want to think about the things you don't have. You want to think about the people that don't love you. You want to point mom and dad about the things they did, yeah? That's the way you prefer to survive your life. And when you see, time passes and your negative thoughts completely catch you. You get nervous, anxious, sick, depressed. You can't have friends. People don't like you. Things do well in your job or not. You have some physical aspects that you don't like. And your life becomes survivalness. You don't have the motivation to live anymore. So yesterday, I visited my brother, Eduardo. Eduardo is an engineer. He's older than me. We had some personality clashes, me and Eduardo, the same with my sisters. But I decided to accept Eduardo the way he is and accept Deborah and Katja, my sisters, the way they are. And this made my life much more happier because I decided to love them the way they are. And it's not correct or incorrect. We are brothers and sisters, but we are different. But I made this decision and I called Eduardo. I want to have a 15 minutes coffee with you just because I love you. And it was very difficult because we had discussions and fights during all our lives. And because of this, yesterday was a very important day for me because I sat down to have a coffee with my brother and we started to talk about life. I asked him, Eduardo, do you like the life the way it is? Are you happy? Because he's married, he has a job, he has 2 kids, he lives in a nice house, he has a car, a motorcycle. So Eduardo must be happy, huh? For many material people, Eduardo must be a perfect man. but Eduardo drinks every day. And there comes the problem. Why? Why this little boy that now is 52 years old, completely graduated engineer with a job in a multinational company, makes good money, go to Disney every year, has a wonderful wife with green eyes and blonde girl, and he lives in a nice neighborhood in São Paulo, has a perfect family, good money. Eduardo is sick because he's not happy. In some part of his life, he's trying to forget what? The suffering. And the way he discovered for this is a dose of vodka every day with juice. Do you judge Eduardo? Because sometimes people decide to, instead of drinking, watching TV for 3 hours every day. And this is a refugee as well. Some drink, others sleep, others watch TV. And you, how many hours do you distract and run away, foge from your life, your reality, your suffering with pills, medication? It's hurting. Let's take a pill. You should observe your suffering and look to yourself. Why am I sick? Why is this hurting? Why do I drink? Why do I eat a lot? Why? Ask the reason. What's my feeling of suffering? Did I forgive back my family, friends, sisters, brothers, father and mother? No, because there are people that don't talk to family. And in this moment, I can understand you because I didn't talk to my brothers and sisters for more than 4 years. Just because I said, I'm right, they are wrong, they do different, they survive different than me, I don't want to talk to them anymore. I was suffering myself. I was committing suicidal. I was killing my own happiness, minha própria felicidade. Just because I decided one day not to talk to people who's different than me. Am I correct or incorrect? Because my father and mother abandoned me. Oh, really? They did abandon you. Which is better? Father and mothers that abandon sons and they become strong people? Or fathers and mothers that love too much, protect too much, and they become insecure? What's correct or incorrect? Who are you to judge mom and dad? Point to your life and make it different. Don't copy mom and dad. Do it different. But don't judge. Because they were doing exactly what they could. They were doing exactly what was good for you. That's what their thoughts. But they abused me. They abused in sexual connotation. I was betrayed, fui traído. I was hit, fui batido. I was humiliated, fui humilhado. This is the story of your life. How are you going to interpret this? Because in my family, we are in 4. Katia, the oldest, Eduardo comes the second, Deborah, the middle one, and I'm the youngest. The education was the same from my father and my mother, but the interpretation we made about the same education was different. Katia was the most beautiful girl, intelligent. She got married really young. Eduardo decided to live his life and study as an engineer. He is not happy the same way as everybody is. Deborah has a different style of life. She is more rebellious. And I couldn't be the most beautiful because Katia was the oldest. I couldn't be the most intelligent because Eduardo was. I couldn't be the rebellious one because Deborah was. So I decided to be the sick one. Graziella was always with bronchitis. I'm sick. Mamãe, I'm the victim. And this way, I call the attention to beloved in a negative aspect. Do you know people like this? We are trying to be loved at all the time. Which tag, etiqueta did you use to be loved? The most beautiful, the most intelligent, the one that makes more money in the family? Or did you try to use the negative tag? Look at me, I can't make money. Look at me, I'm the victim, I don't have a boyfriend. Look at me, I'm sick all the time. If you use these refugees in order to be loved, pay attention, because the people around you is the same. We are trying to be loved. Look, a person that wears piercings and a lot of rings. Have you seen the tattoos and all that? I find it really beautiful. But these people are trying to belong, pertencer to a group in order to be happy and loved. People that wear dreads. I used to have a lot of friends in school that wore dreads in the hair, and I find it really beautiful, but I couldn't make it because my mother didn't allow me, allow me to do it. So I couldn't make the dreads. But these friends, this group of friends in school that had the dreads, they made the dreads in order to belong to a group and feel loved. Vegetarian people belong to a tribe, and I include myself in this, in order to protect animals and nature. They have an idea to follow a group. I need a community of people that goes to a temple or a church to feel part of it, to feel loved. And you like to go to your job every day and meet your friends in the company you work at because you feel with the same objectives. We need community. We can't live in an island, okay? Alone. Sometimes you want to do this, of course, but there's no way of happiness isolated. We need society. Now, darling, if you don't have a good relationship with your mom and dad, and you can't talk to your sisters and brothers, do you really think that you're going to have a good relationship with friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, wives, and husbands? Look at the end of my eyes and tell me here, we can cry together. We are not being happy in this moment because of relationships, because you just decided to point to the negative aspects in family, in you, in others, and you say, no, this I don't want, this woman I don't care, and you start to judge with the high criteria. Your high criteria makes you not love others the way they are, because we want to control. We want to control people and expectations, and we want to control life, and this includes a lot of energy. This includes a lot of energy and suffering in order to control something that we can't. We can't control people. We can't control the reaction of people. In this moment, I am proposing something, and there are many different kinds of reactions. Different people, different reactions. So either you do something or don't do something, you're going to be judged. Either you say something or you don't say something, people are going to react in different ways, because this is just a matter of interpretation people have about life. So today we are talking about how to expect or not expect from people. You can expect from you a different reaction, a change, an evolution. I'm going to stop being impatient. I'm going to observe my bad mood. From now on, daqui pra frente, I'm going to try to have a 15 minutes coffee with brothers, sisters, and family. Put in order your family first. I'm telling you, it's not about me. It's about scientifically proven. It's star constellation. We're talking about this here in Brazil for a long time. It's obliged now in justice, in varas de família, to constellate your family and understand your backgrounds, because you are a copy, baby. You are a copy of mom and dad. And either you say, I don't have patience for that. Who doesn't have patience? Your father or your mother? I'm nervous. Who's nervous? Your father or your mother? Because either you copy them, a good part or bad part of them, you copy, you decided to be like this, or you become rebellious and you want to be exactly the opposite as they are, and you judge. You judge what they did, and one day you're going to be doing the same, because you repeat mom and dad. So it's time for us to clean this, and I'm telling you, it's not easy. All of us were humiliated, abandoned, rejected, and it's time for us to look at this in a different interpretation. So I decided to make a list of what my mother and my father did to me. It was difficult, but I found that my mom made some homeworks with me, and she cooked. She cooked for me during 7 years. That was she could do for me. She loved me. I love her back. Now, if I start pointing everything she didn't do, everything that she could have done, poderia ter feito, or what I would do, que eu faria, this is no life. And they're the same as my father. My father was a no-miss father because he paid all the bills. He paid all the schools and the things we wanted to do. He sent me to United States for an intercambio, but he wasn't there in presence because he left 6 o'clock in the morning and arrived 11 o'clock at night. I never saw my father. He lived with us together. So to pay and love, because loving for him was paying, he was an omissive father in presence. So there's no right and wrong. I decided to point my father as a good man who worked a lot to pay the bills. He couldn't be next to the sons. He did a decision. He didn't know how to balance this. He didn't have support to do this because he didn't receive from his mother and father. Once my father, as a baby boy, didn't receive this from his mother and father, how can he give this to me and you? Think about your mom as a little girl. She suffered too. She was humiliated too. She was rejected too. She tried to survive. She decided to have different ideas in order to be happy. And we are all trying to be happy here. My question is, how do you run away from life? How do we run away from the sufferings that we don't want to face? We don't want to see. I don't want to see that I'm jealous, ciumenta. I don't want to see that I'm envious, invejosa. I don't want to see that I lie sometimes, que eu minto. And because I don't want to see this, I run away and start to work in refugees. When I was 20, I used to pack my bags every Friday and travel to the beach, travel to the mountain. Thank God I had money for this because I worked a lot. But somehow I was running away from my life. I was looking for something that I didn't know what it was. And then you start to get tired because energy don't get into your body anymore. You don't have the same age. Now I'm almost 40. I don't have the same energy that I used to have with 20. My ways to survive is not the same. I can't have a drink every day anymore. My stomach is going to explode. If you suffer a lot, the sickness with the addictions, os vícios, is going to knock on your door, vai bater na sua porta, with suffering or disease. My father used to smoke and drink every day, but with 50 years, he had to stop. There is no way to survive with this. And that was suffering because he became really nervous to get away from these addictions. And it's super difficult. I smoked, my brother and all my sisters smoked as well because we tried to copy father. This is my story. What's yours? That's my way to survive. I passed through many addictions. After drinking, smoking, and dancing, and fucking, and after I changed for exercising, I changed exercising for eating. I changed eating for working. I changed working for mothering as a baby. Yeah? It's a refugee too. We are always trying to run away. Forget about the bad times. Remember all the good times. There's a music about this, eh? Hold your head up high and keep away. Continue, yeah? Hold your head. Mantenha sua cabeça em pé. Hold your head up high. Survival is not difficult. It's something that say, I can do it. Copy me. I can do it. Everybody's trying. In this moment, some people are eating. Other people are working. You are watching. And there goes. We are not the same anywhere. There's no unique person like you that's the same in other places. So the secret of life today, the secret of happiness, I always come here to talk about 33 minutes. The meaning is make it peace, put in order your closet, yourself, have a 15 minutes coffee with the people that needs to talk. Forgive and forget in order for you to be happy. It's not because of God or because of the Bible or because of the hell, inferno, no. It's because of your happiness right now. I feel so good that I talked to Eduardo yesterday. I felt so good to look at my brother's eyes and talk about our childhood and put in order and hug and love and forget what they did. It's time for a new beginning. It's time for cleaning brothers, sisters, relationships and say I love you for everybody and say keep life the way you think it's right because you can't teach people go this way. you become a teacher, you have to come this way. There are many ways to be happy and everybody is trying. Let people be what they are. Deixe as pessoas serem o que elas são. And love them the way they are. Da jeito, da forma que elas são. This is the secret of happiness for today. Next Monday, I'll be back with more motivational class. Tomorrow, we have survival at 4 o'clock. And if this class is difficult for you, Wednesday's basicão at 9 in the morning. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure, guys. Bye-bye.